Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Presley, and in this video today, I want to give you my review for Rain Like Hammer's Sky Cradle. Now, this is a trade paperback that was written, drawn, colored, everything solely by Brandon Graham. So this is completely and utterly his vision. So let's get right into this review. I'm going to do this review based on a bunch of different categories, with the first one being the artwork. Now, if you can see by the cover right here, this artwork, to say the very least, is interesting. It's weird, it's quirky, it's very much not like anything I'm used to, and I think that's something that I really did like about it. Now, I'm not going to go out and say this was absolutely my favorite art style ever, because it's a little bit wonky at times, it's a little bit odd, but the colors really do complement the artwork nicely. I think the characters are designed really interestingly, and I think Brandon Graham does a good job of bringing a cohesiveness to his artwork, to his world, to his kind of design and style. I like the artwork. I'm going to give it about a 3.75 out of 5. I don't think it's by any means amazing, but I think it fits the story well, and I think it's pretty unique and pretty fun at times. So overall, yeah, 3.75. Almost want to give it a 4, but yes, I'm going to stick with 3.75 out of 5 for the artwork. Now let's talk about the world building, the atmosphere, and the mood. Now, this was a very weird book, and one thing that was really weird about it was the world itself. So the world in this book has a bunch of different floating cities, a bunch of different walking cities, and one place called the Sky Cradle that the main character Brick Block is headed to. And the world design is so weird, it's so wonky. There's a lot of sexual innuendos throughout here that I thought maybe the world could have gone without, but it was kind of adding to the quirkiness of the entire world. The atmosphere felt very like fun and joyful and happy at times, but then some other times very corrupted, very oppressive, because there's a lot of rich people who have no idea what the hell they're doing, or they're just completely partying and focusing on themselves and kind of ignoring everybody else around them. It's so weird. I think the world building in this book is fun. I think the different places that we go and explore are enjoyable, and they feel different enough. Like Sky Cradle feels different from the different planets and the moon that we end up going to. So overall, yes, the world building was enjoyable. I'm going to give this a 4 stars out of 5. I really thought it was fun. Some weird stuff throughout there, but overall, I had a good time exploring it. When it comes to the story, the progression, and the flow, I thought the progression was pretty great. I thought it flowed really nicely. It wasn't too slow, wasn't too fast in any parts. The one thing that was weird about it was that the story was a little bit unclear to me at times. I wasn't really sure where we were going or what we were doing. We eventually got some reasons as to why Brick Block went to Sky Cradle. He went there in order to kind of fulfill an old promise to a friend and save this girl named Elle. I thought that was pretty good. I love the adventures of Brick Block throughout here, because kind of his story is us exploring the Sky Cradle together. He doesn't know what's going on, so he's also trying to just find his way throughout this place. It's cool, it's interesting. The story ends up wrapping up pretty nicely. There's another character in here named Eugene, who we're kind of seeing his adventures, but he works inside one of these walking cities, so his story is very different from Brick Block's. I liked it. I thought it was enjoyable. I'm honestly a bit unclear on some of it still, so I don't want to demerit it too much, but for me, the story is going to get a 4 stars out of 5. I thought it ended satisfyingly enough, and it was really enjoyable. There's some really high highs in here. There's not too many low lows. I think it was overall pretty consistent in terms of how good the storytelling was, and I want to give it a 4 stars out of 5. Now let's talk about the characters, the main one being Brick Block, who is this known criminal throughout the star system. There's also Eugene, who's kind of this oblivious guy who's just going with the everyday flow of the walking city that he lives in. And then eventually he breaks out and finds some other things. And then there's also Elle. We find some interesting things out about her. She had this friend that she was really close with. And when they're going into this school that she goes to, she loses her friend, so there's some emotional weight and depth there. We find out some backstory about her and her mother, so I thought the character development between all of them was great. Overall, the characters in here were super wonky, super interesting, very creative, and it was honestly one of the best parts of the entire book, because this is a very character-focused book, because they're also trying to explore the world around them as they go throughout the story. So yes, their character development throughout is great. They're learning more, they're figuring out new things, they're becoming better versions of themselves. And I think the end, especially for Elle, is very satisfying. I don't want to spoil, but something happens with her and all this royalty and this leadership. It's some good stuff. I'm going to give the characters a 4.25 out of 5. because overall I didn't think they were perfect, but I thought they were really enjoyable and I love seeing their adventures throughout. Now, when it comes to the villain and the conflict resolution, I don't think there's too much here in terms of like super high quality villain, because there's not really a single villain throughout here. I guess you could say that the main villain would be like just the leadership and the royalty and these people who are running these cities and this sky cradle. But overall, the story doesn't really focus too much on them. I will say the conflict resolution towards the end was really, really great, especially with, again, Elle's character. So yes, for this section, I'm going to give it a 4 stars out of 5. I didn't think it did anything egregious, and there wasn't like a lack of a villain or anything, but there wasn't a lack of one specific character in general. It was more just the oppression and the leadership in general that was kind of the main villain throughout, and I thought it wrapped up nicely. So overall, I give this section a 4 stars as well. Now, overall, before I go ahead and give you my rating, I just want to tell you that Rain Like Hammers is one of the most interesting and unique books that I've ever read, and some of it wasn't working for me. Some of it really was working for me. I thought a lot of it was great. So yes, even though I didn't think it was fully perfect, I really did think it was interesting, and if you want to read something really wonky, really out there, really creative, you definitely should. This book contains 5 issues, and they're all a little bit longer, so this book is longer than you would typically think for 5 issues. I think each of them is like 52 pages or something. So you're definitely in for a bit of a ride throughout here. And overall, let's get into the rating right now. So yes, overall, I did give this book a 4 stars out of 5. I was contemplating on giving it maybe about a 3.75 out of 5, but I think a 4 is where I want to stick, because despite the fact that some of the things in here were a little bit unclear to me, I had a great time reading it. I thought it was really funny at times. I thought it was really interesting at times. I thought it was weird and creepy at times. So yes, 4 stars out of 5. I didn't think it was perfect. I didn't think it was super, super great, but I thought it was really good. And overall, I think you should read it if you really want to kind of explore something super wonky and super out there. The vision is very cohesive. It's all done by Brandon Graham, so you can definitely feel that this is the entire story that he wanted to tell. There's no conflict between the artwork and the story and the letters and stuff like that. Like, it all feels very cohesive, and that's one thing I really appreciated about it. But overall, let me know in the comments down below if you have read Rain Like Hammers. If you have, let me know your thoughts, your opinion, and most importantly, your rating. If you haven't read it, give it a shot if you like weird sci-fi stuff. But overall, yes, thank you very much for watching this review. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more reviews in the future, and I will see you later.